Amazing heavyweight fight right here. I'm gonna say it right now. I do not agree with these Tapology predictions. You look right here, 97% going Ante Delija to win the fight. Mainly by KO TKO, and then a lot of people have me winning the fight by unanimous decision. I'm gonna say it right now. I do not agree with that big of a swing going for Ante Delija to win the fight. Obviously, I'm going to be going with Ante Delija to win the fight, but if you look at Bruno Henrique Cappelozza, never count out this man. 10 wins, 5 losses, and out of those 10 wins, first a knockout, third a knockout, and every single one of his wins coming by knockout win. 10 knockout wins on his record. I encourage you, look up the fight with Jiri Prochazka. I mean, he ended up rocking Jiri and ended up almost knocking out Jiri with a jab. He has so much power in his hands, but ended up losing the fight by first a knockout. He either gets a knockout or himself gets knocked out. You look right here, 2 knockout losses, 2 submission losses, and then 1 DQ loss. So every single one of his fights, win or loss, being a finish in the first or second round, absolutely insane. But Ante Delija, I'm gonna have a height advantage and a reach advantage in the fight, and definitely is gonna be having a size advantage in the fight, being a natural heavyweight fighter. Whereas Bruno Henrique Cappelozza is moving up from the light heavyweight to the heavyweight division. Ante Delija has 17 wins and 3 losses. Also has a really good striking, really good power in his hands, really good ground and pound as well, and some really good submission skills as well. 7 submission wins, 6 knockout wins, and 4 decision wins. Recently coming off a second round knockout win, a decision win, and another decision win over Ricardo Pressel, only losing to Marcin Arbora by leg injury, and then 1 submission win right here to Dennis Moldariev and then Dean Starling right there. Both fighters with really good power in their hands, really good ground and pound from the both of them, but the wrestling and grappling advantage will be going to Ante Delija 100%. The power advantage in terms who's most likely going to get a knockout in the striking game would definitely be Bruno Henrique Cappelozza. I mean, 10 out of 10 knockout wins, absolutely insane. But I mean, they're both beasts. I mean, I put right here, Ante Delija, he's just an absolute beast. So really good wrestling, really good jiu-jitsu, really good submission skills as well, and a really good power in his hands. I mean, 7 submission wins already on his record. You think that's really surprising, because everyone looking at this fight is thinking either Ante Delija by TKO or knockout, or Bruno Henrique Cappelozza by KO or TKO, but most of his wins coming by submission, which was very surprising in my opinion, but very super strong and super powerful as well. Over the top right is one of his best strikes. Really good power, vicious ground and pound as well. An amazing hammer fist on the ground, very strong and really good wrestling and grappling skills as well. Bruno Henrique Cappelozza is definitely going to be a striker. Trying to keep the fight on the feet for the most part and get a knockout in the first or second round. Really hard, fast left hooks. Almost knocked out Jiri Prochazka with it. Usually a lot of feints as well to time his shots a little bit better. This is a really good overhand right as well. All of his wins coming by knockout, absolutely insane. Not the best takedown defense. That is the one thing where I give the humongous advantage to Ante Delija in the wrestling and grappling game, because Bruno Henrique Cappelozza doesn't really have the wrestling and grappling to defend the takedowns from Ante Delija, and the ground and pound of Ante Delija, absolutely insane. But really good outside calf kicks as well, and a super powerful jab, as I said, almost knocking out Jiri Prochazka with it. But again, I don't agree with those Tapology predictions of 97% going Delija, because there's a humongous chance that Bruno goes out there and gets yet another knockout win. I will be going with Ante Delija to ultimately win the fight, but that's not going to be for his striking. He obviously has some really good striking skills as well, but I think his wrestling, his strength, his grappling, everything like that is going to play a humongous factor here, and Ante Delija is going to grapple and wrestle and ground and pound and go for some submissions as well in this fight. Get Bruno Henrique Cappelozza down as soon as possible and ground and pound the heck out of Bruno Henrique Cappelozza with elbows, with hammer fists, with the right hands on the ground. I think that's going to be a humongous factor for Ante Delija in the fight. So much power, so much ground and pound, and so much strength and wrestling and grappling from Ante Delija. So I ultimately will be going Ante Delija by second round TKO. But again, do not bet on Ante Delija, especially when you get a knockout artist like Bruno Henrique Cappelozza on the other side of things, who has so much power in his hands. So ultimately, I will be going to Ante Delija to win the fight by second round TKO, but do not bet on this fight. That is the only advice I will give for that fight right there. I will definitely have Ante Delija winning that fight 100%.